Okay, we got some Polish league today. I assume this is playoffs because I think they play again, or they played again already. And yeah, so it's Zaksa versus Lubin. So that means it's Wilfredo Leon's team versus Erik Shoji's team, Kurek's team, Janusz, Grabelny, um, and then the other guys on Luke Lubin. I'm not really sure who some of the other guys are, but I like both the middles, McCarthy and I think maybe it's a different guy, but no matter what, should be a pretty good game. Let's check it out. We got McCarthy serving it up, missed serve right off the bat. Um, Two missed serves right off the bat. Don't love to see it, but hey, stuff happens. Floater, middle takes it. It slips through his hands. Yeah. Again, I mean, just don't hesitate. If you're gonna take that as a middle, don't hesitate. It's a good choice to take it. It's just, good choice here by the outside, completely avoiding Wilfredo Leon. Probably a pretty smart thing to do there. And again, like, there's just confusion. There should be multiple guys going towards us, just going at it. And then if they hear someone else call them off, then they say, okay, well, I'll do something else. But yeah, it's a tough one right there. Not bad. Not bad by Wilfredo Leon to pass that ball there. Let me see that move real quick. He just shifts over and then holds the angle a little bit. Look at how long his arms are, though. Holy crap. Dude's a beast. Dude is a beast. Yeah, and then this guy gets killed right in the sixth there. Stuff happens. Float serve down the line. I think I saw something. I don't remember where I saw this, but statistically the most effective serve is a line-to-line serve. Not a spin, not a cross-court float, nothing else. I guess it's a line-to-line float, statistically at least. I don't know if it probably matters of how good the actual serve is, but yeah, it was something, I don't know. Something about the effectiveness of it, I don't know. But I mean, personally, even, passing line-to-line floats are tough. Kurek's Kurek's approach when he's front row is completely different from when he's back row. Like when he's back row, he approaches pretty straight towards the net. But then when he's front row, he goes sharp angle. This is an interesting one. Watch Janusz's eyes right here. He finds the ball, then finds that dude. Like, he finds where that ball's going, turns around, completely gets his hands there, stuffs him. Not bad. It's a tough job to try and track that ball, but it's very important that you do. Yeah, Wilfredo Leon got caught a little bit high there. Yeah, it is what it is. So, yeah, I mean, this is an extreme example. This is an extreme one. He's obviously coming from super sharp, but he does come from pretty sharp anyways. He gets the kill though. I mean, if you're just a guy who's power, fair enough. Fair enough, I guess. Or I guess it's just like you want to maximize your power. Like same with Wilfredo Leon, which is a little bit different because he's a righty on the outside instead of a righty on the right side. But I mean, just like maximize your most unstoppable swing, I guess you could say. And for Kurek, that's definitely cross. Like let his body go completely that way. Like see where he's approaching from right now. See where Kurek's approaching from. And I wouldn't recommend that. I really wouldn't. Because then it might limit your range. But it's interesting that his front row and back row approaches are completely different pretty much. What happened here? Oh, okay. He's front row. Nope. Wilfredo Leon, let's see if he gets one. Yes, he does. Gosh, that's a tough serve, man. There is a reason why they're passing 4 right off the bat with him. Like they know what to expect. And that's the cool thing about Wilfredo Leon too, is he's pretty consistent with his serve too. It's not like, oh, sometimes he hits an 80-mile-an-hour one, sometimes he just misses 5 serves and doesn't like do anything good. But no, he's pretty consistently aggressive with it, you know. It's a nice take. I am not sure what that middle was doing. I think the middle was trying to get on the pipe with Wilfredo Leon there, but again, just be late and then go up and do it. Be late and then be right, you know, that's what I say all the time. But who knows? Who knows if you guys are listening. It's out of system. Let's see what Shoji gives him. This I don't mind this swing at all here. But it's just, I'm not sure if it hits the antenna first or if it hits the arm first. But if there's a little bit of space there, that's a fine swing because you can get on there. Yeah, he obviously hit the antenna first. It's a risk, you know. You gotta understand that you're looking like there needs to be space between this guy's hand right here, at least his hand, like maybe even his whole arm, and the antenna to do that. But you know, if they press, it kind of shows you that, you know, it shows you that side. If they don't press, then it doesn't. Big ol' swing by Wilfredo Leon here. He's just going high hands. He's just hitting hard, going off the hands. They're getting him on the line a ton right now out of system. They're just going for those pinkies, aiming for the pinkies, man. It's not a bad call at all. And look at the offense is completely lopsided over here. So look at where the blocking scheme is. You know, like he's helping out in the middle. He's almost in the middle of the court because this guy's back row, and so he's helping here, and he's solo here. You know, I mean this. I'm considering this a solo block, you know, but who knows? But like, I don't know. You can kind of just assume based on who you're playing, based on like what the guys are doing during the game, how they're playing so far. You can kind of start moving side to side based on where the routes are, based on who's playing well, whatnot, and you can kind of like as blockers, excuse me, and I think middle blockers should be the head of this, but you know, maybe the coaches can help out with it instead. But I don't know. I think that like making blocking adjustments should be a constant flow of things. You know, like each play, it's like, okay, listen, our focus is over here on this guy. Let's cheat to him if the middle's here, let's not do it. You know, like there should be some constant communication in between each play, especially in our sport too, where between every single play there is probably about 10 seconds, 15 seconds pause. You know, like there should be constant communication, even if it is just like, hey, let's do the same thing. At least you're on the same page. At least you know, and like at least you're thinking through what the other team might be doing too. What a move by Erik Shoji. And honestly, it seems like they're like heating up. It seems like they're going harder now that it's late game. Little lefty tip. Yeah, very good. It doesn't have to be perfect to work. It can just mess with that block a little bit, you know. Dime. Zaksa. Floater. It's a good float. Look at how much it moves here. You know, like that ball is floating, and they're big time out of system. Have to go to the back or right side. You got 2 guys dropping. It's a really good dig. Really good save by Erik Shoji too. Let's see. It looks like they're gonna win this point too, but oh wow. care. I'm not gonna complain about that block move. I thought it was a fine block move. Sneaks right through the seam. That happens sometimes. You know, obviously there's always gonna be things like, oh, maybe you could have done this instead to not be late, but a lot of the time, middles, you're just gonna have to be okay with being late. You know, like in system, you have to be okay with being late. You really do, because I mean, that's just the game. That's just how the game works. It really is. Like, you're not going to be able to put up a perfect double block in system every single time. That's just unrealistic. Unless you guess right every single time, which nobody guesses right every single time. Nice little turn here. And look how he drops his left shoulder to be able to do this here. He just leans this way, so it's like you just have more shoulder mobility, you know? Yeah, you save your shoulder if you use your body when you're swinging too. I don't know why he's doing those spread leg blocks, but hey, maybe it works. But again, like, I mean, he kind of went like spread arms, you know, like a little bit of a wide block, you know, a little bit too wide. And he got tooled for it, you know, like Wilfredo Leon especially. He's gonna be swinging away, you know. A player like him, he's just gonna be ripping, you know. So, I mean, maybe just no matter what move you're making, whether you're diving cross with your block or diving line with your block, whatever it may be, have those two arms be working in unison. You know, like have them be working together instead of separate most of the time. Good digs. They're playing some good defense right now, honestly. Oh my. Good by him to be ready to go up and just jump and swing. Wow. They set the pyrotechnics off. That's funny. And you'll see this, like Janusz is a good player when it's tight, but then this guy just gets him on his arms. You know, and that's why I tell you guys, wait until it drops a little bit and then hit them on their arms, because nobody has control. Even Janusz does not have control if it's on his arms, you know? Very interesting there. Long rally. They even set off the pyrotechnics there. That's funny. Floater. Ooh, tough pass. Yeah, and Janusz, like, he flames it, man. He lets it sit in his, like, drop in his hands like that, you know? I don't know. I feel like that's hard to read, though. Drops a little bit. And you know, when the ball drops inside, you have to go even further, like even further than the amount that the ball dropped. You know, but yeah, that's a useless detail. Yeah, can't be mad at that block. Come back to the right side here. Ooh, I don't know what happened here. I do not know. I don't know what the idea was, though. Like, roll shot into the 6. Roll shot right into the block. That's not going to do anything for you. Sorry, my guy. I think, like, this is the downside of going towards that line, trying to find a pinky or something. You know, if you miss it, if they take more line than you expect, then you might get blocked there. But you know, it's a worthwhile risk, I'd say. Yeah, and like, again, just vision, just being able to see the block, understand where it is. I love this recycle here by him. He just taps it into the block, releases it, puts the ball high, and now they get a swing. And of course, this guy gets blocked though. Yeesh. He presses early and it works out, pays off. Very nice. Floater. see. Again, blocks on blocks on blocks now. And, like, look at how much line they leave for this guy right now. Like, I mean, maybe this is a tactics thing where they're trying to, like, they understand that that guy struggles to swing line or whatever. But, like, out of system on the right side, with a righty right side at least, I would say leave a little bit of line. You know, just a little bit, not too much. Just a little sliver. You know, because it's just so much easier just to swing towards the 6 and towards cross when you're out of system. Like, that's the easy thing to do. It's much harder to get your shoulder around it, and, you know, like this right here. You know, that's a much harder swing. You know, obviously it works out, but it's a much harder swing. Oh, goodness. Oof. I'm feeling sick. If my voice is different, it's because I'm sick. I'm sorry. Just a little bit sick. But, like, flip side, this is easier for Wilfredo Leon because he's a righty outside. And so it's just, like, following the way his shoulder naturally goes anyways. You know? It's a really nice swing. And so this is why you should seal the line completely out of system in this scenario. Don't leave a sliver for line there. Because that can just be a roll shot, too. Like, I mean, Wilfredo Leon, that's obviously not his hardest swing that he can do. But it's easy enough for him because his shoulder just naturally goes that way. Like, that's where his arm swing goes anyway, so it's kind of easy for him. And, you know, Wilfredo Leon gets on the ball pretty quick. You know, it's not a delayed thing. He gets on it pretty quick. And with where he's hitting the ball at, like, it's pretty tough to get up there and block there. Sure, just swings high. And if you're going against a really big block, or if, like, a block that's pretty close to where you're contacting the ball, just swinging flat from where you're hitting the ball is probably going to be really nice. Dang, bro. That is a lot of cut on that ball. You know, and you guys should experiment with that when you're, like, practicing serving. If you're in your free time, or, you know, if you get a chance to in practice where it makes sense, practice putting a little extra cut on that ball if you're spinning it. You know, just practice putting a little extra cut on that, because I don't know, adding cut to it just messes with the passers a ton. Cut is really hard to it's hard to kind of map that out in your head too. Like, as that serve's coming at you, it's hard to kind of see where that ball's going. It's tough to predict the cut. Stays high. It might have hit the hands. I don't think it did, but it might have. Not sure. Yeah. When that right side takes that ball, if he's just backpedaling, you should feel pretty confident in it. Like, I don't know, I feel like transitioning off the net is a lost skill. You know, like, so many kids, so many college players, just they're lazy with it. You know, they just backpedal, and then they just don't have a bunch of momentum going towards the net. You know, and then it's just, and they're, let's just say, 25% less physical on their next swing, and it's like, dude, come on. Like, it's making a big difference, you know. Like, you watch a team like Zaksa, Leon CMC, Zaksa, and they're all transitioning off the net really, really hard. Like, this right here isn't terrible. Like, Wilfredo Leon, he gets a good run up, but still, I'd still expect a little bit more. Kurek's a big dude. I wonder how much Kurek weighs. Randomly. Gotta be okay with one of these. You know, and I like it. If you do something that's weird and it works, do not be mad at it. This is a really smart choice by this setter here, because when this gets moved backwards, like, the easy thing to do here is just throw it up high for Wilfredo Leon. And because it's Wilfredo Leon, it's like, okay, it's probably gonna do that. Throws it there, middle's late. able to drop it in there. Obviously, he needs to hit his window a little bit better here, or that middle needs to be up earlier, maybe. I'm not sure. But, like, you got to understand where the focus is. You know, like, it's almost like close hand, or what is it? Something magic. Like freehand magic? What's it called? Like sleight of hand. Yeah, sleight of hand magic. Love this shot right here. Love it. Because like you're as a setter, if you're trying to trick people, you're trying to, let's just say, abuse where their focus is. You know, like if their focus is on Wilfredo Leon in that one situation, then you go somewhere else because they're not expecting it. You know, like you kind of abuse their focus, if possible, at least. Yeah, Kurek's a good player. I'm not sure how old he is, but he's getting older. But he's still a beast. He's still a large human who's playing well. Wilfredo Leon, bad pass, out of system, bad swing. And like, look at where he's starting his approach from. I'm not a fan of that, because I mean he's swinging from super far off the net, but like, I don't know. Like, personally, I think it's so much easier out of system when that ball's tight. So it's just like, you might as well start your approach way tighter. Because if the ball is, let's just say, 10 feet off the net, you're probably not going to want to take a massive swing against a triple block if you're 10 feet off the net. You know, so like, you're not going to need a big run up for that, because like, the smart choice is not to swing as hard as you possibly can in that scenario. So start your approach so that if it's on the net, you can get there. And then if it's a perfect ball, like a few feet off the net, maybe 2 feet off the net, if it's a perfect ball like that, then that's your perfect run up. You know, like then you are able to go up and take a rip there, you know? Like, you don't want to be starting on the end line. You know, one thing that you might have heard from your coaches is like, wherever the set's coming from, you should be taking your approach from behind that. Not true at all. That is a very, very dangerous thing when it's taken to the extremes, you know? Just, your approach should be pretty similar each time, you know, based on the perfect ball, let's say. And, yeah, so like, obviously you need to adjust. You need to be able to go wherever you need to with the approach. Like, as my old coach used to say, have wide train tracks, you know, so like, or maybe the better analogy would be like, have many train tracks, I guess. So that like, okay, if the ball's over there, I can go over there. If the ball's there, I can go there. Instead of like, oh, once that ball's tight, I'm 20 feet off the net, so I'm not going to be able to get up there. You know what I mean? Just wait on it. Be somewhere where you can optimize it on a good set, you know? And then, like, you shouldn't be standing at the net, of course. Like, you should be trying to get off the net to a point where you can keep that ball in front of you as much as possible. But once you get too far off the net to where on a tight ball you can't get your feet there, then that's where that line is. That's where the edge of that range is. These guys are just going underneath each other. I love it. Wow. Leon going back there. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe seal the line out of system every single time. You know what? From now on, do that. Okay? Seal the line out of system every single time, unless you guys have a alternate plan because of a certain player. But yeah, take that as principle. Seal the line every single time out of system. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. And look at how he's starting his arm swing right as he's jumping. you know, like, and then it's quick. Gets really good contact. Look at how quick he is. And like this is an interesting arm swing for a middle. You know, like I would say you don't see that many low draw arm swings from middles, but that is a really good swing. And if you start it early enough, like he did, like if it's a quick enough arm swing, like his was right there, then it doesn't really matter what your arm swing looks like, you know. But like, I mean, arm swing stuff too. Like, if the slower your arm swing is as a middle, especially, let's just focus on middles here. The slower your arm swing is, the more time you're giving this guy to jump and get up there and block you. You know, so quick arm swing means that they're not going to be able to jump and get their hands up there. You know. That right there is why the serves from the 5 are aggressive, because that seam just gets so muddy. Like, it gets so gray. Like when there's a spin serve from here, the seams are pretty consistent. You know, it's pretty much okay, boom, it's gonna cut here every single time, whatever. But like when that serve's coming from the 5, it gets to a point where sometimes it goes straight like this, and then, you know, and then it would be somebody else's, you know. Yeah, the cut just gets inconsistent. And with inconsistent cut, but consistent serves, that's really difficult. Like, I mean, right here, this is a rare one. This is a rare one where that ball is kind of cutting towards this outside here. But, yeah, usually that's not the case. Let's see this transition by Wilfredo Leon here. Okay. Turns, runs. But this turn right here. Don't open your left shoulder. Turn your back away from the ball so that you don't have to. Look at how he has to slow himself down here. And then go forward. And then look at how little he jumps here because of that. Like he lost so much power because he's stopping his momentum completely. You know, I really like watching Aaron Russell transition off the net on a triple block scenario, because he goes here and then turns right shoulder opening first, turns his back away from the ball for a split second, finds that ball again. And, like, he never loses any momentum on that, you know. But, like, look at how little Wilfredo Leon's able to jump there, because he just lost so much momentum, lost all his power, you know. Hello. It's a nice one. Really nice one. Getting on top of that ball. And, like, I don't know, on that 31 or that dece or that gap, whatever you want to call it, just jumping high, jumping straight up. Jumping straight up is super important with that, because I feel like it just gives you a little semblance of balance, you know, and then you can find that ball wherever it needs to be and get on top of it instead of, you know, drifting away and then reaching towards it. Oh, I love that. And this one, he has his arms a little bit separate entities, you know, but like this is like a, hey, I'm here, surprise, I'm over here, you know, like I love it. Just gets his hand around that ball a little bit. It's a really nice block. It's a good read. I would say it still would have been even better if you went with both hands there, though. You know, I don't think it would have given away where he was. You know, like, I don't think it would have changed Kurek's swing. I think Kurek was already swinging. Wow. Yeah, and, like, when you're Kurek, when you're swinging and contacting the ball at the top of the pin like that, I mean, I guess you kind of can get away with just going cross every single time and, like, having that be every single time bread and butter, you know? Let's see, Janusz, let's see what you got here, buddy. Perfect. Nice. Again, just letting that ball get outside the block and then sit there. Like, you just kind of, you gotta let it sit in your hands for a split second, you know, so that that block can get away from it, you know. Out of bounds. All right, last set here. We got 0-0, fourth set. Bang. This is why it's important to know if that setter is front row or back row, because, hey, is this David Smith? Nice. He's back. I didn't even notice. Watch him blocking. Oh, uh-oh. This is very rare for David Smith to get beat like this. He's not happy in himself. Oof. Wow. Just as I was saying to watch him. The very rare mistake by David Smith there. He's a super clean, super disciplined blocker. Probably just saw something and he got messed up. But hey, even the best blockers, even the guys that I'll tell you, you should really, really watch this guy. This guy's the best at this. Even they mess up sometimes, okay? Really nice. Look at that transition all the way out. And like this is better. Like, look at how rounded his transition is. Instead of like stopping his momentum, it's just curved and continuous and fluid. When there's no like rigid sharp parts to your transition, you're not losing momentum. It's just continuous, you know, it's just fluid, and there's no stoppages or anything like that where you're just losing all your momentum and then you have to produce more momentum. Like, when you completely stop your momentum, that means you have to produce more momentum. It's like a car, okay? When a car comes to a complete stop and then goes again, it burns way more gas than if it just rolled through the stop or whatever, you know? And that's not an excuse for you guys to start doing rolling stops. Drive safe, stop at the stop sign. But like, it's the same principle with your transitions and stuff. Is if you have to start your momentum back up, then it's gonna be tough. Yeah, and you're just gonna like, you're gonna run out of gas, you know. Float serve, and you know, I like Janusz because, or at least his serve, I mean, because he's deceptive with it. Like, his momentum's going here, and they're like, oh, okay, he's going here, and he just breaks it off the other way with still good contact. Drops it short a little bit there. I like it, and he's not late on defense either. He's still back in there getting tips. And like right here, he's starting here because if that ball's perfect, he can go up and blast it. But then that ball's not perfect, so he gets his feet there, wide train tracks, gets his feet there, takes a good swing still. Gets killed because of it. Like, you should just be able to go wherever you need to, you know? Yeah. And if you get turned around like that, just go where you're facing. You never practice the other way, so just go where you're facing. It's so much easier. Nope. David Smith back there to serve again. Let's see. Big old spin serve like that right there is just a tough serve. He maxes himself out there too. He jumps high, tosses it pretty high, rips it. Good for him. It's a tough one. And, you know, I try that swing sometimes, but I don't think it pays off enough. You know, going off of trying to get a reuse off of that line blocker's hands. It's tough sometimes. You know, like I would say if you're going for a recycle, go for the middle blocker's hands. Unless it's like super tight where it's just like right in front of you to do it. But if you're going for a recycle, as in like you're roll shotting it to that blocker or hitting it at the blocker, whatever it may be, I would say go after the middle because of the angle that it goes at. You know, because if you're hitting it at the line blocker, it's going to hit off the line blocker and be like right in front of you. And I mean, unless you're ready to do it, then fine. But like, if you're hoping that somebody else can cover you on it, go for the middle blockers because then the angle of it, it's going to go towards the other people, if that makes sense. Just trust. Unless you're really far away from, or like outside the pin, but usually that's not the case. All right, we got 17-13, fourth set. I like that serve there. Again, this is why it pays off to know if that person is front row or back row, because if they're back row and they start pulling some crap like this, go up and challenge them. Go up and get that thing. Go up and do it. Don't let them trick you. Don't let them make you look like a fool. Because like that Nikolov holding their arms there thing, it makes you look foolish. It does. I like this. This is the type of volleyball I like too. It's just flowing, you know, like it's a normal ball, recycle, he gets it up quick, and then he just runs it right there where he is, gets up there, takes his rip. Like that's the type of volleyball I love, because it shows how much of a clean connection you have. It shows how much you trust that person. I absolutely love it, you know. Oh, that guy's he's really tossing this far into the court and then just like hitting that ball flat forward, you know? Good for him. It's a good serve. Wilfredo Leon, good pass, middle, boom. Gosh, that's a fast. And look at the fast twitch by David Smith here. Down, up, immediately, he's up there. Takes away an angle, fair enough. The other guy takes the other angle. It's good swing. Fair enough. Good pass by Erik Shoji, though. Let's check that out real quick. Off the net. He's there, and then it goes off the net. Big adjustment. And he just holds his platform there a bit and walks away. Boom. Bang. Bang. Bang, bang. Ka-chow. 15-21. Big old serve. What you doing, Yanush? Nope. And like I like this choice by this outside. First of all, he got an overpass. He's feeling it. And then they're in a scramble play anyways, so you might as well go for it. Like get them while they're scrambling. If they're moving around, they're at a big disadvantage. So get them while they're scrambling. Oof, sneaks through there. Big old serve again. Nope, he missed it. That stinks, doesn't it? Decent pass by Wilfredo Leon there. Not great, but still decent. He just goes OT there. Big dude. Dude's one of the biggest in the game, that's for sure. Ooh, hello. Wow. And yeah, that right there is why I wouldn't recommend aiming for the seam a ton and challenging the seam a ton, because I mean the margin of error is just so small. Where like a little bit this way, boom, you're roofed. A little bit that way, boom, you're roofed. You know, like it's not the safest swing. You know, it's going to be hard for that defense to dig it, but I don't think it's worth it. Thanks for watching, guys.